In the weeks prior to the release of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, there was an interesting narrative that started to take place after an influencer, a TikToker, decided to go out there and say, hey, if you're white, you better not go and see Black Panther opening weekend. That is for black people. It's not made for you. If you need to buy a ticket, then make sure you give it to a black person. Now, of course, this is just one person's stupid opinion. The majority of people probably disagreed with her, but there were some people out there, some MCU stans, some activists, some woke lunatics who wholeheartedly agreed with that sentiment. White people, this movie is not for you. And of course, this is a Marvel Cinematic Universe that increasingly has tried to push their original audience away. If you're white and if you're male, they might not want you watching anymore. And as it turns out, if that's your strategy, if that's how you market your material, and if that's how you make your movies, well, eventually people are just going to stop showing up. So this TikToker who said white people don't go to Black Panther, maybe some people listen to her because the numbers are now in, and it is a significant difference from the first Black Panther movie. Not only when you look at the drop off in money spent, but when you look at the people who went to go see this movie. Fewer white people and fewer men went to see Wakanda Forever than Black Panther. These demographics for the first Black Panther and Wakanda Forever are quite different. Disney continues alienating its white and male audiences as it learned fewer white people and males of all colors went to see Black Panther: Wakanda Forever than the first film in 2018. And we're not talking about pure numbers wise. Disney doesn't want to talk about pure numbers because, quite honestly, I might do a different video all about the box office breakdown, about how nearly 22 million people went opening weekend in the United States to see Black Panther. And that number is down to nearly 13 million for Wakanda Forever. Even though the money's a little closer with inflation, with ticket prices, all these things, it is not even close. It's a massive drop off for Disney. But no, in this case, we're talking about hard percentages. Deadline reports the demographics for Wakanda Forever, where the audience for opening weekend was made of 44% Black, 21% Hispanic and Latino, 20% Caucasian, and 50% Asian/other. That is a big difference from the first Black Panther movie, because the first Black Panther had an audience 37% Black, 35% Caucasian, 18% Hispanic, and 5% Asian. That is a massive drop off in the percent of white people that went out to support this movie, almost like they were told by some weirdos, like they were told by some freaks, like they were told by the mainstream media, and the way that it was marketed, full-on colonizers are bad. Maybe they didn't want to go see this movie. Weird how that works, isn't it? While you might argue that more people of color went to see the sequel this time around, which changed the percentages, that doesn't work out, as the first movie opened to a boatload more with over 202 million compared to Wakanda Forever's 181 million. And again, when you factor in average ticket prices, it's not even close to the same number of people. It's also no surprise to learn that Wakanda Forever skewed slightly more female at 4% more than male compared to the first movie, which, while it doesn't sound like a lot when you're talking billions of dollars, the money adds up. What remains of the wokies on Elon Musk's Twitter might cry racism, but obviously that's not the case, as again, the first Black Panther movie made a lot more money when the white fans came out to see it and saw it multiple times, and the first movie looks to be burying the sequel in terms of box office, likely by hundreds of thousands of dollars. No, hundreds of millions. It's a little typo from Matt, I know that. Hundreds of millions of dollars. There's no way this movie gets close to $1 billion. When it started, I thought maybe 850. Now I'm wondering if it's going to break 800 million, because on top of a disappointing opening weekend box office, they were betting on it making 200 million. It didn't even come close. Then you had a historically bad Monday drop. You've had another bad Tuesday and a bad Wednesday. We'll see what the weekend brings. They're predicting a 55-60% drop, somewhere around there. That'd be better than I thought it would be, but it certainly is a massive drop off and a massive disappointment compared to where Marvel wanted this movie to be. So what happened? What's going on is that Disney is intentionally going out of its way to alienate its white audience and get rid of white male characters. Last year saw Disney Television's chairman of entertainment, Dana Walden, admit at the Women in Focus panel, ABC passes on several well-written scripts because they lack diversity, where Walden is said to have bragged about passing on a script because it's centered around a white family. Imagine the uproar if she came out and said Disney passes on great ideas about people of color or from LGBTQ backgrounds. And this is really the problem when it comes to Disney and Marvel in general. Not necessarily just Wakanda Forever or anything like that. They are no longer worried about telling the best, most entertaining story they can, about captivating an audience, about entertaining people. That's not what it's about anymore. It's about virtue signaling. It's about sending a message. The reason they didn't recast T'Challa, the reason they didn't want to do that is, one, so they could use your emotions to make you care about something in this very boring Wakanda Forever, but also because they wanted to make Shuri Black Panther. Don't come to me with that, Shuri was Black Panther in the comic books. Yeah, very briefly, while T'Challa was recovering, and then he took over the mantle of Black Panther again. It's not like she just became the Black Panther forever or anything like that. No, they wanted to do that in this movie because this is the MCU. This is Marvel. And it shouldn't be surprising that if you go out there and you alienate men, if you alienate white people, and if you say, hey, if you're white, don't come see this movie, then all of a sudden, they might not come out and see the movie. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my PO box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.